Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. All right, let's start things off tonight with a couple trains running around the layout. While people join on in. Got some ST40s on an auto rack train, so we'll start off with that. Alexa, turn off the trains. I apologize to anyone else who has an Alexa, because probably going to be setting your little machine off a couple times tonight. How's everyone doing? Welcome to this episode of Maxrailroad Live. I just got back from college on Thursday. It's really nice to be back home, especially now that I don't have to live in fear that I'm going to get COVID every 30 seconds. But that's besides the point. It's great to be back here on YouTube. I've been looking forward to doing another stream for a while. I was actually thinking about doing one from up at college, but we'll save that for the spring semester if that happens. But yeah, as always, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the live chat. We're going to be doing some Q&A tonight. I'm going to be talking about the layout and also some stuff about HO scale, running some trains, of course, and whatever else might happen. So feel free to ask any questions. I'm going to go catch up on the chat, see if anyone has asked anything yet. And otherwise, we're going to be good to go for a good show here. I got both of my Zacks in the audience moderating the chat, so feel free to say hi to our moderators, Train Miser and Sunset Island Railroad Productions. Go check out their channels, too. They both have some cool stuff, and they're both super awesome for volunteering their time to help with the live stream here. But without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the chat. See if anyone has any questions for me. Hello, Rail Fan Roger. Thanks for joining. Hey, Zach. How's it going, bud? Hey, Henry. Running Rail Fan. Hello, everyone. Mitchell Austin. How's it going, buddy? Nice that you're running trains while you're watching. Awesome. Doing good, Brandon. Thanks for asking. Hey, Jack Hogan. Thanks for joining, buddy. Yo, what's up, Ravenhawk? Yep, so these are the Allegheny, West Virginia 7375 and 7346 from the movie Unstoppable. I know that most people who follow my channel know that I'm a big nerd for that movie, and I think it's pretty cool that I have models of them. They're custom painted by CJV Custom Paint Design. She did a wonderful job. Can't thank Christine enough for her awesome work. What does AWVR stand for? Allegheny, West Virginia Railroad. AWVR, Allegheny, West Virginia. Nice shirt, thank you. I'm a big fan of David Bowie. He's a very, very good musician. Yeah, guys, keep me posted if there's any lag or anything like that on the stream. I'm sure there will be, because the Wi-Fi in my basement sucks, and if history's taught us anything, it's that these streams never seem to go well. But yeah, I'll do my best to monitor the chat and see what's going on. Hey, Matt Strains, thanks for joining. Ravenhawk, these are the Lionel E units, the Conrail E units. Super nice set. Lionel did an awesome job. They actually put in a custom horn sound file because back in the pre-Ditchlight era, these things wore a Nathan air chime, an air whistle, which is a really cool feature that Lionel did. Would not have expected that from them. So yeah, it makes it awesome. And the MTH passenger cars under the layout. That's a fun set to run. I got this shirt, kind of unrelated to trains, but I got this David Bowie shirt. I think I actually got it in Ocean City, New Jersey, on the boardwalk there. That's not related to trains at all, but that's okay. Do I have any ore cars? No, but I'm thinking about getting some in HO scale. I've got these, they're not down here, but I have some CEFX AC44s that are leased by the LS&I, which is a mining, an ore operation out in somewhere in Michigan, I think. So I might get some ore cars in HO scale. What's the future of the layout look like? Great question, Riding Rail Fan. We'll go ahead and do a quick once over of the layout, and I'll show you guys what some of my plans are. This is a great transition, actually, into our first little tidbit. So, yeah, guys, keep the questions flowing in. I'll catch up on those later. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and just talk about the layout a little bit. So thank you, the Riding Rail Fan, for giving me this little opportunity to talk. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my phone out of my tripod here. So guys, here's the layout. Here's a nice wide angle of it. I'm home for college now until January or so. So for the future of the layout, as far as while I'm home, my plan is to do some work on the catenary system here. There's a couple areas where the wires are once again not working, and it just needs to be fixed because, quite frankly, I'm really sick of the catenary system not working. Unfortunately, I have to wait on that until I get my GG1 back from the repairman, just because the GG1 is like the center engine. It's lagging. All right, just keep me posted, guys. But anyways, my Vision GG1 is like my main engine that I really center the catenary around. Like that's my most important engine for the catenary to work with. So I have to wait till I get that back to make that work. But anyways, other than doing some work on the catenary system, I'm hoping to stripe the roads finally. And the road just kind of ends. I'm hoping to build a bridge eventually that goes over that. But that plan's probably not going to happen until summer this year when I have some more free time because that'll be a very long project. I'm hoping to start like making some drawings of like how. Seems like it just lagged out there, guys. Can you guys hear me now? We're back? All right. Thanks, Mitchell. Awesome. Yeah, but anyways, what I was saying is hoping to build the bridge over there eventually. And I might also start working on some of the mountains that are going to go on the backstretch of track. But my main focus for while I'm home is to work on the catenary system and stripe the roads. All right. I'm seeing some questions come in about ballasting. That's a cool topic, so we'll talk about some ballasting here. So this is Lionel Fast Track. Fast Track doesn't look like this when you buy it. It has this road bed that's built in, but it doesn't look very realistic, so I opted to go ahead and ballast the track. And I used Brennan's Better Ballasting, or Brennan's Better Ballast from Brennan's Model Railroading. Highly recommend. It's really good stuff. It's made from actual ballast, and it's really good quality, real rock, so it looks really nice. It's the best stuff that I've used. I used the Woodland Scenic stuff for a while, and I really didn't like it. It just looked way too dry to me. But this stuff has a lot of texture to it. It has the feel of real ballast and the profile of it too. So big fan of that. Pretty much for doing this, since you're on Lionel Fast Track, you don't have to do in between the rails. What I do is I take a little solo cup. Actually, I have one over here that's full of ballast, but what I do is I just go in above the railhead and sprinkle some down. I tamp it with my hands, and then what you do is you spray it with isopropyl alcohol, which is a wetting agent, and then you spray it with glue, and then because of the alcohol, the glue can sink in down underneath and get everything nice and stuck in there. But yeah, ballasting is an essential for any realistic-looking layout, and obviously, it can't look that great with Fast Track, but I think I did a decent enough job, just because Fast Track's what I had when I built this layout, so yeah. In the future, I definitely want to use a different type of track as opposed to one that has road bed already built into it. Otherwise, though, Fast Track is great. I mean, it's perfect for what it should be, which is a durable, less expensive alternative to help get a layout started. And using it on a layout like mine is not optimal, but it gets the job done for sure. All right, let's go check out some questions. Seeing a lot come in. So guys, when I was working at Strasburg not that long ago, a gentleman who is in the live chat right now, NEC Jersey Rail fan, met up with me, and hi again. It's nice to see you, bud. I do remember taking my picture with you, and I hope that you are well, staying safe, and enjoying train still. Where did I go to college? I am studying at the Penn State University Park campus. Did not start the bridge yet, nope. I did hear about Montana Rail Link 4406. That is for those who don't know, Montana Rail Link painted a honoring our veterans unit, which is pretty nice. Thoughts on the new CN heritage units? Oh man, CN did an awesome job on the new heritage units. My favorite is the EJ&E. I really like it. hoping to see them soon. I mean, I don't really live near any CN tracks, but I might make a trip this winter after Thanksgiving to try and find some. That would be fun. That is a trolley shop. It's a building from K-Line, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little accessory. The roof's also not where it should be right now, so let me just fix that real quick. There we go. Favorite diesel, steam, or electric locomotives? This is a great question because it has 50,000 different answers. But I would say that my favorite diesel locomotive type, just one that I think is a really cool type of diesel, is the SD42F, which is a cowl body SD40. Just a very unique engine. For steam locomotives, I like smaller steam, Canadian National 260s, like the E10A, are nice engines, and electric. Probably the GG1, just because, you know, it's a GG1. Have I been taking any classes on NS or railroads? Unfortunately, Penn State doesn't really offer too many train classes. Well, they do at the Altoona campus. By the way, if any of you guys are out there looking for a good college to apply to for train stuff, check out Penn State Altoona. They have a great program where they work with Norfolk Southern to help with railroad management and logistics. Super cool curriculum, but it's not for me because it's mostly based around math, and I'm terrible at math, let me tell you. But no, not taking any train classes. I'm taking a lot of journalism and writing classes. What's the size of your layout? So, this layout is about 10 by 20 feet, and there's a small 3 foot by 4 foot extension behind me. Thank you, Philip. Is the track right on the pilot, or did you use Homosote or foam underneath? Great question. I put cork roadbed underneath my track. It dampens the sound a little bit. And fast track is inherently noisy, just because that's what it is. But the cork helps a little bit. On the next layout, I'm definitely going to use some sort of foam agent, though, instead of just the roadbed. Have I ever been to Florida? Yeah. My grandparents actually have a house down there. I did know that Third Rail is doing an E60. I have one pre-ordered. Really excited for that. Did I watch Thomas when I was little? Of course, who didn't? Thomas is the best. Yeah, Zach, I heard about all the heavy units. Super cool stuff. Do I ever have issues with my switches? Yeah, I do. Fast track switches are really touch and go. Like, I have a bunch of here that are really solid, like they constantly work, but then a couple that just don't work, or some that work half the time. That is one thing that really does bug me, especially because these switches are really expensive, and when you have them in the rails, they're a pain in the butt to replace. Well, welcome to the channel, Human City Junction. Happy to have you here. Yeah, a fast track switch also caught fire on my layout once. Zach was here for that, I think. The Train Miser, he's a really close friend of mine, great dude. But anyways, he's been helping me with the layout for a long time since we started hanging out, which was way back, I think in 2016. But anyways, I think at one point in time he was here, and then one of the tracks, like the rails got like red hot and they melted through the plastic, and then smoke started coming out, and we both like freaked the fuck out. My language is a little bit colorful tonight, my bad. Sorry. Do I have AWVR 1206? I do. It's actually right back there behind the auto racks. It's currently lashed up with some other SD40s. I gotta watch my mouth. I'm sorry, guys. Do you guys use signals at Strasburg? Strasburg's technically dark territory. We have signals that we use as switch indicators. So they show an indication that like corresponds to what position the switch is in. So if it's in forward or turn, but we don't really use signals other than that. Do you use hand signals though? If you guys want a little crash course in hand signals, this means back up. Put your hand in a nice circular motion. This means forward. and then this means stop. There you go. Now you all know hand signals. Go out and be a brakeman. Do you have a B6? B6, and is it a good first legacy engine? I have one of the first runs of the Lionel Legacy B6. I think it's a great first engine just because it's so small and it's pretty affordable too. But I've heard a lot of quality control issues coming out with the first run of B6s, so just be careful. Test it at the hobby shop before you buy it, and if you're not there to buy it in person, then just make sure that they have a return policy so you don't get screwed if it does end up not working out for you. Will there be a port or No, so the bridge is actually not going to go over any sort of water. It's just going to go over, the bridge is a road bridge. It's going to go over the tracks back there. I'll show you. So the bridge is a road bridge right here. It's going to go from there where that little paved ramp is. It's going to go up and over these tracks and then right back into the wall. And eventually I'm planning on building a mountain back here, so it'll go into a tunnel in the mountain. And also, if you look back there, you see that little blue thing? That's AWVR 1206. The PRR signal in the parking lot at Strasburg, that shows the indication of the switch. When it shows straight up and down, that means the switch is, facing forward, and when it's diagonal, that means the switch is diverging. Did I hear that both CP2816 and BM and RNN 2012 during your running soon? Yes, I did. Love Steam. Yeah, that voicemail is classic. What's the hand signal for ow? My hand got pinched by the coupler. I believe it would look something like this. I don't know. Like the signal on the wall. Alexa, turn on the lamp.
I'm not sure which lights you want. What room are they in?
Alexa, turn on the sign. There we go. I forgot what I had it named. That is an old railroad crossing sign, I believe, from somewhere in Kentucky. I got it at a York train show. This guy, he bought a bunch of these from the scrapyard and then put just a regular LED light bulb inside, and then has a plug that you can just plug into a wall. Pretty cool thing, I think. Alexa, turn off the sign. It's really bright. Max's trains, yeah, my plan is probably not to ever work for a Class 1 as a conductor. As much as I love trains, I think that I feel like that I'm better suited to work in a more writing-based position. Like, I want to work for a railroad someday, but I don't want to work as a brakeman or a conductor. My overall plan is to help in different ways, like working in the public relations or the marketing department, because that's my strength. And Strasburg will always be my place where I can go and play brakeman for a day. What are the new leased CFX units from? Those are HO scale, Zach. They are made by Kato. I don't have wires for the switches. They are actually controlled through the legacy remote. So AWVR 777 Railfan, I'm actually planning on making a little video where I try and reenact some scenes from the movie, and that's one of the ones that I'm planning on doing. I have no idea how I'm going to do these things, but I have this really great habit of just getting these awesome ideas in the back of my head and then trying to figure out ways to do them and then just failing miserably. But that's an eventual plan. I think it'd be really cool if I could reenact some scenes in the movie and then pirate some clips and then get the audio from it. I don't know. Maybe it'd be fun. One of these days. I don't have any Boston and Maine, no. What's your favorite smoke fluid? I really shouldn't like JT's Mega Steam because I've heard that it can do bad things to your engines, but their hot chocolate scent's pretty awesome. Have you been to Age of Steam? No, but I really want to. That's on the 2021 docket, provided that, we're not in a pandemic anymore. What got you into the hobby and building a layout? That is a great question, Reading Railroad fan. My grandfather and a lot of other people in my family were my main influences into getting in the hobby. Mostly though, like my cousins and everything were all into it, and I really just cherished like the kind of community that we had around trains. We all really loved it. Like it was a big thing. We all got excited about trains. We all loved going to Pub-Up's layout at his house. And I really just appreciated how excited everyone got about trains and the sort of community that we built around it. And though they stopped liking trains, I stuck with it, and I eventually found that community again with my job at Strasburg, with my countless friends who also liked trains, with people at the hobby shop that I used to work at, stuff like that. I just really appreciate the community around trains. I think it's something really special. They're a lot more than just the mode of transportation. True or false, a 20-pound reduction must be made on the train line before uncoupling. That is very false. 20-pound reductions are to be made after your first coupling to a consist to confirm that the brake continuity is similar within the engine and the rearmost car on your train, and you only have to do that like once every 3 or 4 hours, even if you uncouple from the same consist. It's mostly just to ensure that the brakes are all working and corresponding to the signals that the engine's giving in the same fashion. Favorite O-scale set? I have a cool set from MTH that came with an Alaska engine and then 4 Alaska Dome cars. I don't really have many more sets. I mean, I had like the Acela set and then the Turboliner set. I don't know if really that's what you're asking about, but I guess the favorite like set that I bought from a company would probably be the Alaska set with the dome cars. Do I have any New York and Central? I do. I have a New York Central Hudson from K-Line. That was my grandfather's engine. I'm hoping to actually make some freight cars for Unstoppable. I made decals for them in Photoshop. It's just a matter of me printing them out and then, painting over some freight cars. That's another project that I want to do because I really want to learn how to decal. This is a good way to teach myself. Do you think they will make an Acela Liberty? Nah, I don't think that anyone's going to make the Acela Liberty in O scale. Maybe in HO, but I doubt in O scale, just because new tooling is really, really hard to come by, especially with the loss of MTH. And something like that is just so specific to one road name and one region, and I just don't think it'll happen. It's the same reason that the Acela set from Lionel failed in the beginning. It's because, as cool as it is, there's really not that many people that would want to buy it because it's, the Acela is only run in the Northeast, and having a catenary system is a plus, but there are so few people in the hobby who have these. Like, you don't really see many guys like me who have catenary. So, have you ever thought about getting some chassis engines? I have a couple times, but right now it's not exactly what I'm focused on. Maybe in the future, though. What's your favorite steam locomotive? Oof, all of them. Have you ever weathered? Yeah, I used to do weathering. I mean, I still do, but I haven't done it in a very long time. Mostly just because time, and also I don't really have too much desire to do it at this point, just because I'm focused on other things. But I used to weather a lot with chocks, weathering chocks from Scenic Express, and that was a lot of fun, honestly. That's something I'll start doing again once I have more free time. Yeah, exactly. And Trade Miser. Can we see the Acela? Yeah, sure. So the Acela set is also known from Lionel as being a great failure, just because there are so many things wrong with these trains. Like the pantographs, they break constantly. The connections between the cars are really, really terrible. It's a horrible system. Like, really, whoever designed that system should be brought out back and shot. No, that's dramatic. But it's a really bad system that connects the cars together. I mean, it's a really good looking set. They did an awesome job with the paint and the details on it, and I love it as a shelf piece. And I really wish I could run it more. It's just that it runs really poorly, and a lot of things go wrong. I don't know. While I'm home, I'm hoping to take some time to look at it and try and get some things working because again, it's a really nice set, and it sucks having this very expensive and very pretty train just sit on the shelf all the time. But yeah, great looking set. But other than looking nice, it doesn't really have much going for it. Might make the custom safety train from Unstoppable, but right now I'm pretty happy with just the AWVR units. Ever tried weathering with spray paint? Yeah, and spray paint is a lot less easy to remove than weathering chalks. Thanks for tuning in, Human City Junction. Have a good one. What does the underground sign mean? The underground is a railroad. It's pretty much the subway in London. My cousins got me that sign when we went on vacation in London. I thought it was pretty cool, and I've had it for a long time, so hung it up the other day. Not the other day, that's been there for years. Is the Lionel HHP8 set good, or does it have problems? It's pretty good. I mean, I used to have it. I sold the HHP8 from it, but I kept the amphlets just because the HHP8 was weird and that the pantographs were like really weirdly positioned, so it wouldn't actually reach the catenary. And because it wouldn't reach, there was no point in me having it, just because I have the catenary system and I want to have an electric engine that you can use it. But for that reason, I do not have it anymore. I love the Alaska Rover too. It's one of my favorites. Did you hear that Athearn announced the SD70 ACU and HO scale? Yes, and I'm super excited to get a bunch of those. That's one of the things I really like about HO scale. You're going to see a lot more innovation and a lot more unique models in HO scale as opposed to O, just because it's easier to tool things up in HO scale, and there's a lot more manufacturers. It's a much more global market. Like there's this one Australian manufacturer who's making the Canadian National SD60M or SD60F, I think, something like that. But they're making a really cool Canadian National Cal body diesel. There's a lot more competition and a lot more innovation in the marketplace for HO scale, which is one of the big things that appeals to me about it. A lot more diversity. Wow, thank you so much, DLR Diecast Reviews. Really appreciate the super chat. See you, Train Miser. Thanks for the help. Why isn't Lionel made a Genesis yet? Because MTH had it and they pretty much had a corner on the market. I have a good feeling that if Lionel is to buy some tooling from MTH, they would buy that just because the Genesis is a really common engine. But if they don't get that tooling from them, then we'll probably not see them again in O scale, which is kind of sad. Well, at least we'll not see a scale version because, Bachmann does make them. What's your opinion on the Lionel S1? Do you mean the steam turbine? If you're thinking of the steam turbine, which is what I'm thinking of, that's a super cool engine. And I would like to get one eventually, just because I think it's a good example of the whole era of steam ingenuity when people were trying to, or when a lot of the railroads were trying to figure out a way to make steam a more sustainable option than diesel, but they ultimately had to go with diesel just because it's so much cleaner than steam and so much easier to use. But it's an expensive engine for sure. My first MTH train was an MTH S2 steam turbine. Oh wait, oh my god, the S1 is something else. You're right. The S1 is their the new Vision engine they're doing. Right. The World Fair engine. Whew, had a brain fart there. That's a really cool thing. I'm not going to get one personally just because I don't really have a use for such a big engine like that, because I don't think I'm going to have 072 forever. But it's definitely something really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing other people have them. Yeah, Lionel would have to make their own tooling though, because they've never made the Genesis before. How do you feel about MTH closing down? Yeah, I had a good feeling that that would come up at some point tonight. Yeah, I mean, it's sad that they're closing. I can't say I didn't expect it. I mean, I know Mike Wolf, and I know I've known that he's been wanting to retire just from the times that we've talked. It sucks that he's selling the company, but to me, that says that there's no one out there in his company who wanted to take over or who wanted to buy it. But again, time will tell. I'm sure that something's going to happen. I don't really see that whole company just vanishing off the face of the earth. I feel like there's going to be something that forms, at least. Something. Do you have your Union of Steam box car? Yep, I do. I bought it with my employee discount. Not to flex, but oh yeah. Do I have a Pure Marquette 1225? Yes, I do. What's the longest train you can run in your layout? That's a great question. So the longest train that I can run on my layout, here, it's actually... So on the loops on my layout, the outer loop has a siding in the back. So this is about the longest length of a train that I like to run. What this train is right here. Because this way the entire train can fit in the siding. So that way, if I want to run two trains at once, I can have two that are just about the same length, park on the siding, run the other one, and then, park and then swap it because I've got switches on both ends. The auto rack train is about 2 car lengths too long. So pretty much this train is too long to let me run 2 trains at once. So I try to run them shorter than this, but I just got 2 new auto racks the other day, so I wanted to make the whole consist. I think I can fit something around 13 usual sized cars and 2 usual sized diesel engines on the front of a train. So that's the longest. That's about the longest that I can use. On this layout, at least. I mean, I can make them run much longer if I want to have like the head of the train chasing its tail. But for like a sustainable operation, it's normally about 13 cars, which isn't that long, but it's okay. Do you like the SC44 Charger? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Very interesting model. I'm thinking about getting one in HO scale from Bachman. Do you have any merchandise from the Virginia Museum of Transportation? I think I do, actually. I think I have like one of the little commemorative 611 coins they made a while ago. And I think I have a 611 hat somewhere from them. But not much stuff now. O-scale steam is much better, yes, but HO diesels are where it's at. And as a steam guy, that's why I like HO. Or that's why, as a steam guy, that's why I like O-gauge. But as a diesel guy, HO has my heart. So again, I'm torn because I like steam and diesel for different reasons. Why'd you choose Fast Track over Atlas or Gargraves? Just because it's what I had at the time. Looking back on it, or at least for the next layout, if I build another layout in O-gauge, that is, I'm definitely going to use something else. Fast Track is okay for some purposes, but the switches give me a lot of issues. And for a layout like this, it works fine, but it could be better. Is your layout modeling the Northeast Quarter? A little bit. I try. I mean, I've got the catenary system. It's more modeling the Keystone Quarter, which is local to me. That's like a 5-minute drive from my house, and I grew up alongside it, so. Where do I live? Just outside of Philly in a small suburb. Can you run your electric engines? Right now I can't because I don't really trust the catenary system not to knock the pantograph off. But at another time, hopefully. But not tonight. Hi, Jonah Collins. How are you? What track are you using for HO? Down over there I have Bachman Easy Track just because it's, easy track. But eventually if I ever build an HO layout, I'll probably use Atlas Code 83 or Code 100. What's the worst wreck you've had on the layout? That is a great question, Mitchell. Alright guys, we're going to do some acting. Alright, this is a really... Aw, thanks, Jonah. Miss you too. I need to grab some... Here, let's grab some passenger cars. I'm all excited thinking about this. Oh my god. So, this was, I think, 3 or 4 years ago. So, pretty much, I was running 2 trains at once. I had a really long freight train on the outer track, and then I was running my nickel plate 765 on the inner track. Anyways, Without realizing it, I accidentally pressed the button that throws this switch while the 765 was like doing, I don't know, a good highball speed around the layout. So with it, the last second I saw the train diverge across the diamond as there was a long freight train right here. So the 765 comes and then knocks a tank car, and then this was before I had the lip installed, so 3 cars just fell right onto the floor. And the 765 just kept plowing through the rest of the train, derailing things, causing so much mayhem. It was bad. It was funny because nothing broke. Thankfully, I have carpet in here, which cushioned the fall from these engines. But it was scary to say the least, because I could still just think back and I remember seeing the 765 just take the diverging track, and I'm like, no! As everything just happened in slow motion right after that. But yeah, that was probably the worst wreck that I've had. Another time I put one of my electric engines up on the under the catenary wire at like the max MTH speed, which is 120 scale miles per hour, which is ridiculous. And it just went straight over a curve. Like instead of just turning, it went boop, and then just flipped over. Get war flashbacks. Yes, so much confusion and delay. Sir Tottenham would be very disappointed in me. I have one piece of BLI. It is an SW 1500, and I had the BLI controls, which is Paragon. I had that ripped out and lock sound installed, along with some other cool LED light packages. Don't have that back yet from the customizer, but we'll soon. I'm excited to show that off. Yep, that's an NAW Class A. It's on the yard lead right now. I do have a 464 Hudson. Do I have a big boy? Well, you see, that depends what big boy you're asking me about. Oh my god, there are kids in the chat. I can't believe I just said that. No, I don't have a big boy. The SW is, it's Norfolk Southern. Favorite Class 2 railroad? Probably Alaska or Montana Rail Link. Catenary system is all scratch built. No, it's MTH. MTH made a kit. Alright guys, I've been talking for about 45 minutes now. My voice is getting a little scraggly, so I'm gonna let some trains run. I normally let you guys pick what I'm gonna be running, but tonight we're not gonna do that just because, for sake of time, and because the trains that I have on now have been working for a while, so I just trust them to keep going. So we will just run the auto rack train, and then I'll probably pull one of the steam engines out of the yard for the inner loop. So let's go ahead and get things started. How do I ban a moderator? Can I do that? Alexa, turn on the trains. Alexa, turn off the trains. You good there, bud? Alright, she's good. That was a little run session for you all. I figure I'll answer a couple more questions, maybe run something else, and then we'll wrap up for tonight. I do have a bedtime, so not really, but sort of. I saw a lot of questions coming in. First off, just to clarify about the Burger King stuff, my buddies Garrett, Jonah, and Nick, Nick is Toledo Rails, we were chasing the Reading Northern 425 over Labor Day weekend earlier this year, and after a long day of chasing trains, we decided to go to Burger King for some fine cuisine. And in the car ride back to our hotel, someone came into the car and stole all of the fries. It was not me by any stretch, but we were all fighting, and the blame somehow got shifted to me. I don't know. They always blame the short kid. So, I guess that's what happened. By the way, I should note, I hate Burger King with a passion, but I was so hungry that day I would have eaten anything. But yeah, I didn't steal the fries. That's confirmed. I did not steal the fries. No. Sorry, lost you guys for a second there. But yeah, I didn't eat the fries. And yes, eggs are delicious. I do recommend the eggs. Eggs are yum. Is Jimby getting the eggs? Hey, what's going on, Nick? Nick, you just tuned in just in time to see my friends yell at me for stealing fries that I didn't steal. Anyways, let's see if any questions popped up. Have you guys seen the new Conrail T4 or T1? It looks nice. I mean, it's interesting. I would not buy one myself, but I think it's an interesting piece. The only good use for Culver's food is to throw it in front of a virtual railfan camera. You can quote me on that. So Mike, I cannot run the Acela just because it has a lot of issues. I was talking about this earlier before you tuned in probably. When Lionel made it, it's absolutely beautiful, but there were a lot of electrical issues involved with it, so I can't use it. It's going to take a little bit of fixing. Have I ever seen a train derailment in person? I derailed the Cagney once at Strasburg. Does that count? Twice now. Yeah. Whoops. Oopsie poops. A little while ago, Mitchell Austin purchased some Canadian National hoppers from me. Glad to see that you're still using them, bud. Hope they're treating you well. Garrett, calm down. Go take your Ritalin. I'm not planning on getting the Lionel 440s just because it seems like too much money for what it is. Very nice looking engines, but it seems a bit much for me. Does Behind the Throttle have anything big coming up? Well, since you asked, Jonah Collins, I figure I might as well plug Behind the Throttle. Behind the Throttle is the awesome blog that Jonah and I run. It's a really great way for railroaders to share their stories with the world. Everyone go check out BehindTheThrottle.com. It would mean a lot to both Jonah and I. I think there's some really interesting stories up there, and we might have some big stuff coming up. We might have a big boy on our story, on our blog. Well, I'm working on it, but hopefully we'll have a very big boy on our blog. No, it's all good, Mike. You didn't know. Have you gotten anything new for your collection recently? When I was up in college, I found a yard sale near campus that was selling a lot of O-gauge rolling stock, and so I got a couple freight cars. And I've been picking up some HO scale stuff recently. During the next running session, I'll show you guys, but I've got some center beam freight cars and lumber loads, but haven't not really gotten any new engines lately. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't bought any new engines or anything like that. I was trying to hold off on purchases while I was in college. I mean, I got a couple things here and there, and I was at a hobby shop in Altoona once, so I got a Scale Trains HO scale Tier 4 engine, but other than that, nothing much. Hopefully, I'm overdue for an engine. I should have gotten fired. How dare you? I do think this Conrail is sick. Thank you. Nice that you caught 1066. I haven't seen that one yet. Thank you. Up local. Can I see 765? 765 is yeah, we can take a look at 765, but it's not glamorous, just warning you guys. Here she is. Maybe while I'm home, this will finally be the time when I get around to fixing it. So we've got the shell right here with the cab. The cab's not screwed on right now. Here's the front to the boiler. And then obviously here's the chassis. Yeah. Yeah, I really, I really need to get around to fixing that thing. Yep, and then there's 777 and 767. If you're wondering what happened to my 765, I tried to install the Mars light about 2 years ago, and I massively screwed up one of the wirings inside the locomotive, and I was afraid to touch it after that because I was afraid that if I put it on the track, it would, stop working permanently. And then I finally mustered up the courage a little while ago to try and fix it, but that didn't work out, and so I ordered some parts that never showed up, and so now I'm just waiting until I have the courage, I guess, to go back in and try again. But that'll be for a while. I'm so scared of permanently damaging that engine, but I guess, at least trying is better than just letting it sit there. I already talked about MTH a little bit, but pretty much I do hope that, pretty much, no, Jonah, he didn't say yes. My opinion on MTH going out is that I think it's sad, but I think that something's going to come from it. I don't think that MTH is going to be gone forever, or there's something that's going to form from its ashes. Swear to God, you guys with the caps. It's not the general public, it's just my dumb friends. Yeah, Mark, I know, it's a sin. It'll have the Mars light soon, hopefully. That's why you don't use a Mars light, oh my God. What's the war bonnet? That is a Atlas -8. I'm actually looking to sell that, just because I don't really have much to run it with, and I have another piece of war bonnet, so I don't feel like I need that much war bonnet representation in my collection. Do you have a water tender for 611? I do, but I'm actually getting rid of it pretty soon. The moderator's buying it. I'm taking his money. What decided you to get into HO? That's a good question. I started with HO just because I was going to a train club with some friends, and I wanted something to run. Like we did, a couple friends and I earlier this year, we all met up, and we stopped at a train store, and then we knew that we were going to this big HO club later that night. And so I'm like, what the hell, I have some extra money right now, I just sold some O-gauge, I might as well pick up an HO engine that I can play with. And so I got my first HO engine, which was a Rapido BC Rail B36. and that engine really had me smitten with HO. There was just so much more customization, so much more detail on like the really close-up level, so much different variation. It just HO just seems like a much better creative outlet. And I still love OGH. I'm still an OGH guy as long as I had this layout. I'm not getting rid of the collection or anything like that, but I'm definitely looking into HO a lot more than I have in the past, just because I think it's a really, really sustainable option as opposed to the big free rail trains. How much for the war bonnet? I don't know yet. If anyone's actually interested in buying anything, just go ahead and shoot me an email. My email address is just maxrailroad@gmail.com. Where did the 929? I'm assuming you mean the number board. Show you guys. Boop. That number board right there is from an old AEM7 from Amtrak. I bought this number board on the farewell to the AEM7 trip, which was back. Oh my God, how long was that? Was that in 2013 or 14? I don't know. Nah, I think it was in 2015 or 16 maybe. I don't know. But I got that on the trip. That's from an old AEM7, and Amtrak auctioned off a bunch of the number boards on the farewell trip. Predictions for the line on 2021 catalog. Legacy Strasburg, we can hope. I don't have any new N scale, Jonah. I'm probably going to get rid of all my N scale, actually. Nick, that's a good idea. If I was modeling Strasburg, that would be really cool, but I'm not, so I guess not. But maybe another time. Someone else is buying the water tender, sorry. If I do HO scale in the future, what era will I model? I mean, with O-gauge and with HO, I don't really model an era. The layout is like, I tried to set it in the steam era, but then I've got these big skyscrapers, so it's not really in the steam era. But pretty much, the way I like to think about it is I buy what I like, and some areas might have a modeling focus, but I'm always going to have exceptions. I guess my focus with HO, like the stuff that I like the most, is probably going to be early 2000s Norfolk Southern, just because that's what I have a lot of, and I have a lot of Norfolk Southern hopper cars, but then also a lot of Canadian stuff, because, a good friend of mine named Paul put it best. With modern Canadian railroading, there's a lot more variability within the power. Like you see a lot of different stuff in Canada as opposed to just, the GEVOs and the SC70s that you see down here in the States. But yeah, I don't really intend on ever having a modeling focus. I'm just going to buy what I want to buy, and then the layout that I build will be like what I like the best, I guess. And then I'll have exceptions on it, just because, why not? Thanks, Miles. I should bring this out on a charter, Mark. That would be a great way to get some good photos. It's your longest train wreck. Oh yeah, everything will stringline if you let it. Where'd you get the NS sign? Actually, I don't know. I got that forever ago. I want to say that actually I was gifted that when I was 3 or 4. Yeah, I've had that for a very long time. It's really pretty, isn't it? Can we see the AWVR locomotives? I showed them a couple times, but you can see them right here on the screen, and we'll run some more of them maybe later tonight. Good evening, Tim. Is it bad that I have stuff from when I was younger? No, not at all. I still have some mild trains. Is the NSA watching tonight? Uh-oh. What's my favorite? My favorite CP military unit? I like all the military units. I think it's 6644. That one's my favorite probably. But I really like the maroon and gray units. Those things are super nice. What are your thoughts on Menards? What does a pirate say when he gets hit in his area? Menards! I like Menards. They make really quality accessories for what you're paying. It's good stuff. I mean, their freight cars are all semi-scale, but everything else from them is pretty nice. Mark, I don't have to change your mind because you were right. Menards is really nice. Alright, seems like I'm finally all caught up on the chat. Hey Adam, welcome. We got 41 people watching right now. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in, and thanks to all the people who have liked the stream. Any chance you're going to sell the Penn Central U33C? Funny you should mention that. Its space is empty. Where did it go? It's not like I already sold it or anything. It's not like I sold it to someone in this chat. Whoops. What's my favorite CN heritage unit? Probably the EJ&E one. Or the BC Rail. Both are nice. I don't have plans on getting a 4141. I borrowed my friends for a little while after George Bush died for some photos, but I don't really need one other than that. I like Adam's idea. Let's run some trains pretty soon. Hello, Logan. Thanks for joining, buddy. Selling any of your NS heritage units? Possibly. What brand is my Freedom Train? It is NTH. Protosound 2. I bought it from a friend of mine who recently passed away. So it's a great tribute to him, I think. Let's smoke some crack. This dude knows where it's at. No, guys, seriously, don't smoke crack. I don't know why I'm the one telling you this, but don't smoke crack. Yes, smoke coal. Toledo Rails knows what's up. What has become of this live stream? Oh my god. You did not miss a stream. No, it looks like it's still happening. Am I still here? Am I real? Am I awake? I don't even know anymore, guys. Do you still have the Conrail F units? Yep, they're up there. Are you selling 8104 and 8102? Now that I mentioned I'm selling things, everyone's going to ask, oh my god, are you selling this? Are you selling this? I have no plans yet, but no. Yeah, no plans yet. Hang on one sec, guys. My phone's about to die. Let me go ahead and plug this bad boy in. Do. All right, we're back. Whew, sorry about this. Fix 765 yet? No. Regionals and short lines are better than class ones. How do I afford all this? I sell crack. I don't smoke it. I sell it. I don't do open houses. I was planning on doing one at some point or another, but then, you know, the world kind of ended and there's a global pandemic going on. How is your HO collection doing? It's getting too big. It's concerning. I do have an 844, yes. You guys can request trains to run if you'd like. I can't promise that I'll run anything, but if you would like to, by all means, go ahead and type something in the chat. I don't have a Discord server. Maybe I should make one. Yeah, pull for the chat. If you guys use Discord, would you use a Maxrailroad Discord server? Because I do have Discord. While you guys are answering that, I'll do a quick once-over of the walls of trains, just because some people are asking to see. There's my laptop right there with the stream. So we got some CSX and Conrail stuff on the bottom, and then some E units and some Conrail F units on top. Over here, we've got what's left of my Norfolk Southern collection, and then that big empty space right there is just because I have, that's where the rest of the AWVR units go, and then also my Wheeling and Lake Erie SD40s, and they're all on the layout right now. Coming this way, we've got some Norfolk and Western SD35s on top from Atlas, UP Vision Line Genset over there on the left, and then down here, Turbo Train, Acela, a lot more Amtrak stuff. Why are you selling your NS stuff? I sold a lot of it just because I wanted to focus more on the steam era. I felt I had too much diesels, too much redundancy in my collection, and I thought it'd be cool to kind of dive into steam a little bit more, and it was definitely a worthwhile endeavor, in my opinion. Yep, do have the Bennett 11 units. We were running some PRR earlier. We had 1361. It's right there on the station track right now. Do you still have 425? No, I actually sold all my Reading and Northern stuff, which I kind of regret now. Looking back on it, I would have liked to keep my 425. But what's done is done. I really should not have just opened this all up to suggestions. That's all the chat's going to be. Let's see, did you guys answer the question about the Discord? Jonah says he'd use it religiously. Well, that's enough just to start it right there. Trains are dumb. You just start collecting thermonuclear bombs. Who's to say I haven't? Where did you get the BCR 534? BRC 534. Oh, I got that a while ago, actually. I don't even know why I got it. It doesn't really match at all what I, like to model. It's a nice little thing, but I'm probably going to get rid of it pretty soon, honestly. What legacy steam do you suggest you get first? It depends on, what kind of turns you're running. Like, I don't know what kind of layout you have, but if you have tighter curves, if you want to get the steam engine, then, maybe go for one of the new Lionel B6s or the A6 Atlantics. I don't know, something small. With Legacy, if you're going into Legacy, that pretty much is just the assumption that you're already pretty experienced in this hobby and you already know what you're doing pretty much. So, you should be fine to learn with any engine, but, if you have a smaller layout, get a small engine. Just make it easy on yourself. Do you have a 2156? I don't know. I don't think anyone's made that no scale, actually. If you could see any era of railroading or any railroad that has fallen, what would it be? I would really, really like to go back in time and, from a historical standpoint, obviously who wouldn't want to go, see a steam engine charging over like the Cahoon Pass or, like the Horseshoe Curve or something like that, but I also think it's important to document some of like the forgotten eras of railroading, like the rise of Conrail at the end of Penn Central after that horrendous merger. Stuff like that's really important to document, and I don't think that enough people did that because no one really appreciated what was going on until after it happened. Here's me going philosophical. My throat hurts. All right, let's run some trains, guys. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna run right now. We'll do this. Oh shit. Charge your cord there. What I'm doing is I'm pulling two auto racks off the big train so I can grab the smaller freight train out from the siding so we're not running the same thing again. Alexa, turn on the trains. This is the first run of this reefer car, and on the first time around the layout, it jumped a switch. So, thanks, Lionel. Alexa, turn off the trains. Whew, all right. It's been just about an hour and a half now. Think that we're going to go ahead and call it here. It's already 10 o'clock. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a good night. Be safe. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And, in the circumstances, do your best to social distance and, see people through Zoom. It sucks, but, we all got to fight this together to have better times ahead. So yeah, with that being said, have a good night, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Maxrailroad, and I'll see you all down the line. Take care.